Province Sports Panel, we've taken the show on the road to the Steel Toed Brew Pub here in downtown Vancouver. And guys, I know what this world needs is the Western perspective on the Toronto Maple Leafs hitting the jackpot, winning the National Hockey League draft lottery, and now moving forward. What exactly, in your mind, Ed Willis, are the Toronto Maple Leafs?
Well, I don't know, but I think first of all, we have to emphasize this spectacular brew pub we're in, which would be the envy of Eastern Canada anywhere.
So they can have Austin Matthews, but they don't have the Steel
That's
Toe.
right. The hipster population in Toronto, I know, is green with envy. I think by and large, it's a largely positive story, and I think, it would really take a heel of the highest order to deny the Leafs this one moment of triumph after everything that organization has been through since really 1967. So I think this is a case of the sun not shining on the same dog's ass for more than one day, or however that goes. Good for them, and considering it's still possible the Leafs come out of this summer with Austin Matthews, with the Vesey kid from Harvard, and with Steven Stamkos, that could be a real big game changer.
Tongue, Ed Willis.
No, I'm telling you, it's all possible. It's all possible.
What do you think Austin Matthews is in for?
That's the fascinating thing. To me, that's been one of the interesting things this season, was the Leafs finally said, you know what, we're going to stink. And people were fine with that. People were happy, I think, to see a team finally say, we're going to be honest, we're trying to build towards it, and it's going to take a while. And people said, great, we're glad to know that finally we're admitting that we're no good, and that maybe we're working towards something. And to see all those kids coming through, I mean, Matthews is really his cherry on top. I mean, look how well those Marlies have been playing. They've got all these young kids. They got Nylander, they got Mitch Marner, they got all these guys who are going to come up who they hope are going to score, and then they have this #1 center who could be in the lineup next year, ready to go to take charge. To me, this is everything that a team that's trying to sell itself as building for the future.
I'm still not sure if it's a masterful stroke of like hockey strategizing or marketing, because it amazes me the way that market just inhaled the message every time. I remember talking to somebody in the Canucks and they're going, geez, I can't believe this is the most celebrated last place team in the history of hockey, but it wasn't. And I think it speaks to the desperation of the Toronto market, but also just the skill with which that message was conveyed, because they made, no bones about it, and they also had the great front man in Mike Babcock, who really squeezed as much out of that lemon as he could, so they couldn't complain about that. Now, like I said, they've got Matthews, they're looking at Stamkos, they might be looking at Jimmy Vesey on top of it. Could be a real turning point for this franchise, which, let's face it, it's the New York Yankees. From a business point of view, at least.
Yes, not in the win-loss column
NHL,
or the championship trophy case. One thing that I find interesting that we really haven't seen or heard a lot of, but I think we will, there's going to be a massive spike in the ratings for the World Hockey Championships, which get going and they start with a bang. Canada, U.S., Austin Matthews playing on Team USA. If you're the Toronto Maple Leafs, or you're a Leaf fan, I mean, what a great opportunity, to see this guy at a high level, to build the hype. I'm curious. I mean, it didn't matter where he wound up. The ratings were going to spike for the World Hockey Championship.
And on Toronto's home television network, after all, too. Right? I mean, the only challenge, of course, early in the morning, and will people stick around and watch it later? I think they will, because in the end...
Not as early in the morning for them as it is out here.
But in the end, this is a case of, listen, we've got nothing to watch. Why not check this out? We know it's going to be great hockey. You know Team Canada's going to be really good, because that's quite the lineup they put together.
Oh, no, absolutely. I mean, the World Championship, forget it. I mean, you usually ignore it. In fact, and you can even go back to the World Under-18s this year, which I was captivated by. Seeing Jesse Coolio, seeing the two kids from the Penticton V's. I got it right. I'm sorry. I called them the Penticton Knights in a column. I apologize. But that's extraordinary to have two guys who might go in the top 15 from a BCJHL team. So, yeah, like intriguing storylines all over. But like you, I want to see these kids playing against men. Heard so much about them. Talked to Mark Crawford extensively about Austin Matthews, and I want to see him against men in that kind of really competitive environment.
Well done, Ed Willis. As a proud Westerner, we started the segment about Toronto and the Leafs, and you worked a Penticton reference in, and we'll leave that as our jumping off point at the Steel Toed Brew Pub on, and again, for anybody checking this out across the country, if you're visiting Vancouver, mark it down as your must-visit kind of place, Steel Toed Brew Pub on East 2nd in Vancouver.